Hello everyone, Rare Model Reviews here, back at it again with a review this time of the Gundam Universe Strike Gundam. So, this guy, going straight on with the colors, much like the Talgeese we did yesterday. Not bad. Color separation is pretty good. Have some red here on the feet, white, and grays here in between the joints, blues, the face here, which is very masterfully detailed here, even has the little slats on the face here, black here in the ears here, that's black. Vulcans it didn't do, but cameras are blue. And again, I'm just overall pretty happy with the color separation of this thing. Now going on to the articulation, the head, I'd say could do 360, but if it pops out while you're doing it, I don't think that quite counts. So side to side, up and down. A little bit of front and back if you can make that out, but not much. Up and down. Shoulders, go about up like that, out like that. Kind of wiggle around, move 360 there. Has a little full rotating joint there. It's just as squeaky as the Talgeese. However, it does have a pretty much perfect bend of the arm, so that's a good start. Appears to be a 2 joint on the arms there. Ball joint hand, so this goes just about everywhere you could think of. Side armor goes up and down. Rotate about there and there. Front armor goes only up about there. They're both, as you can see, individually articulated. Rear armor, no movement whatsoever. Probably could do a split, actually. What does it say could do a split? Oh, actually kind of can. All right, it's not bad. It's on a ball joint, too. That's crazy. I can do a split with a ball joint. So the leg here, not much better than the Talgeese. And this is, again, a 2-point bend. Ankle guards here can actually decent amount of movement there, and it's only pegged onto the side there, which is interesting. So feet go down about there, side to side. You can actually see a little bit of piston in there too. So like I said, this thing's pretty detailed. Now, so that's it for articulation. We're going to go straight on to accessories. So it comes with 2 fist hands. And I also want to mention that I don't know if the Talgeese and the Strike happen to have the same type of fist, but they are definitely the same exact fist. In fact, I'm going to bring him out here a little early, because obviously I'm going to use him for a size comparison. So let me see if you guys can make that out. You can see that's the exact same fist. You even have the little nub above the pointer finger there, and the piece in the back there, the little rectangular piece. So right off the bat, this the Gundam Universe line definitely is a fan of sharing parts, just trying to overall budget their way through every release. So we have the trigger finger here, and again, same as the Talgeese. You just take that out there, put that in here, okay. And this thing actually also, again, has a little piece here that you use for a stand. However, one thing it does separate itself with for the from the Talgeese is it actually has a hand here, which you'd use for holding. And again, obviously, might as well bring him out for a split second, since again, these things all universally share parts and whatnot, which I guess isn't a horrible thing. He can use this hand to hold the beam saber. So again, like I was mentioning in the Talgeese review, if you wanted to give this guy a beam saber, which was not included, if you had the RX-78 Gundam from this line, you'd be able to use the beam saber for this, as well as this guy's hand, probably Gundam's hand too. I imagine he'd have 2 hands or something for beam sabers. But oh wow, actually let the Talgeese almost run off with his hand. But yeah, so again, has a holding hand and a I guess you say a trigger finger hand. But it also has 2 armor Schneiders, all molded in gray. I don't know if that's quite accurate or not, because this thing literally used the knives once in the show. But it does fit well in a trigger finger hand, and of course in the holding hand. So that is awesome. Actually pretty happy with that, if I'm honest. I think the Talgeese is first. Get this out of here. All right. Now for the last 2 accessories here, it has the beam rifle, which has a nice little well, the scope's painted in blue. I was gonna say sticker, but no, it's this is a action figure. You don't build anything with an action figure. Now the shield has this nice gold color here. White, red, all painted well. The piece right here you use to hold it. You do a 360 wiggle around. I believe it's on a ball joint. Now it has a handle here. And then a piece right here you just peg into the arm here. And while we're at it, because this is already going to be a short review, you can put it in the other arm as well. Looks a little strange because, you know, the trigger figures out, but yeah. So you have that option, and since the piece popped out, actually it's not on a ball joint, it's on some sort of whatever that is. I don't know what to call that, but kinda. Not really. Can't really hold it up. No Gundam really ever can hold their shield up. I think the only one that ever could was like the Master Grade Double X. But anywho, so right off the bat here, I'm going to go ahead and say this thing definitely one-ups the Talgeese and accessory department. This thing has literally everything the default Strike would have. Again, the L Striker would be the backpack, which of course has the beam sabers in it, and usually the shield and beam rifle at that. However, again, that's still not bad, all things considered. It would have been nice if they did the L Strike instead of just the Strike Gundam, but again, hey, if you're a fan of the Strike Gundam, you don't want to build a model of it, he's not a bad option. Now, going on to some size comparisons, we have the 1/44 scale Stark Shagan. Again, I'm not sure what exactly the scale for the Gundam Universes would be, but as you can see, this thing is way smaller than it. And again, I think the Stark Shagan is kind of a big suit, so it should be bigger than it actually is here. We have the Calamity, which I'm using mainly because it's my only 1/100 seed kit I have. So this is why I don't think this thing is a 1/100 scale right here, because last time I checked, the Calamity is not a giant. I'm pretty sure this is a standard height suit. So these things should be around the same height instead of this thing being almost half its size. And of course, since these are the only Gundam seed kits I have, I do have some on Destiny. Actually, now that you mention, I should have probably, not that I mentioned it, jeez. I probably should have actually bust one of them open for a size comparison, but whatever. It's not the end of the world. And of course, we have the Gundam Universe Talgeese here, which I said in his review should not be taller than the Strike at all. That's not accurate. So the scaling on this line is already just all over the place. But rambling aside, unlike this guy here, I can recommend this one. The articulation's not much better. However, the accessories is the thing that honestly is why I can actually recommend this thing, not just for someone who wanted to pose an action figure, but also for someone who, again, maybe want to do what my father did and give me a Gundam action figure as a gift, as the Strike Gundam 2 was given to me by my father as a gift. And again, you know, with the accessories this thing has, the decent posability, you know, you can definitely play around with this thing and pose them. Again, it doesn't have the L Strike or any other Striker pack, so that is a bit of a letdown, but it still has enough stuff that keep me satisfied. I still would want another Strike Gundam in my collection just because, again, this doesn't have the L Strike. So I'd probably end up using this thing as like a test bid to maybe like experiment some painting, because I definitely do want to step my game up with painting and whatnot a bit better. So I want to primer this thing and make it like color scheme like a deactivated Strike type of deal. I think that'd be cool and make me be able to justify keeping this thing in my collection, especially since I just said I'm going to eventually get a Master Grade Strike, probably sooner rather than later too, because I really, really want one, and the prices for the Strike aren't inflated enough to where I want to pass on it. So again, recommend him, not that guy. Stay away from that. And as always, this is Rare Model Reviews here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.